It is just a little after 2 o'clock. It's Wednesday afternoon, and we are really close to Christmas. It's the eve of Christmas Eve, and I can ask with some new intensity, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you going to do this Christmas? I have heard from many of you that it's an altered Christmas, it's a different Christmas, it's a compromised Christmas in terms of the element of getting together, being together. So, I'm Pastor Lou Kilgore, and this is the Pastor's Chat. You're welcome to be joining us here. We've been sitting together and taking stock of our lives and where we are and where we want to be now for months. And we might not be making any particular progress, but at least we're checking ourselves along the way so that we're not wandering too far off the trail. Advent is a journey. It's a journey from where we were to where we're going. And the elements well celebrated in the liturgy remind us that on that journey, it sometimes is not going to be easy. And so I think we're in one of those not so easy times. I look around, sometimes I'll form an idea in my mind about what's going on. And I have it, I don't always share it. Sometimes I think, I don't need to. But from time to time I'll put it out there and say, well, this is what I think is happening. I've not been attempting it. I don't know what's happening, what's going to happen. I don't know where we're headed. I see foreboding signs ahead of us, storm clouds growing. I don't know. I don't know. It's Advent. It's Advent and it's 2020. How are you doing? How are you doing? So I've been thinking several times that the emerging theme for me during this whole restricted social distancing kind of Christmas, how do we do it? I guess what it is I have felt, wow, this is going to be very different. And then I go to that crazy story of how the Grinch stole Christmas, and I've been thinking all along that the story, at a narrative level, it works very well, because the point of Christmas is, when the gifts are all gone and all the decorations are taken away, and they wake up on Christmas morning and they don't have any of the Christmas decorations, they don't have the feast, they don't have the roast beast, they don't have all the things that make Christmas up, and yet still the Grinch hears from the top of that rickety, rocky cliff the sound of joy rising up. Mahu More, whatever that little song is that Cindy Lou Who begins to sing. And Christmas survives all of that. It does. But the pictures drawn in Dr. Seuss's Christmas Without Gifts and Christmas After the Grinch all has people standing together. It has them joining hands. It has them coming out into the town square. A disaster has happened. Christmas has been stolen from all the things, and all the stuff of Christmas has been stolen from them. And then it occurred to me that this Christmas is the opposite of that. Because nobody's taken the stuff. At least not in my world. I know I interact with a lot of families who are worried like they never have been, that they want to buy some Christmas gifts for their children, but they've got rent to pay, they've got food, they've got to eat. They cannot be irresponsible, and maybe in Christmases past they've been irresponsible, but there's just no choice for them, so I get it. There is a sense in which this Christmas, too, is without all the trappings, but my point is that when I think of that story. And I love that little story. I love Dr. Seuss anyway. I think Dr. Seuss is profound beyond the age expectation of the book. Profound, deep, theological, environmentally sound. But this Christmas, 2020, what if all the people who live in Whoville were shut up in their houses when they could not come out into the public street? And they still had the food and the feast, but it was all in their houses. And they couldn't hold hands, and they couldn't sing. And that all the stuff of Christmas was there, but none of what makes Christmas Christmas was there. You see where I'm going. My family, I suppose we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. We have kind of 5 concentric pods that make up our family. 5 little mini families now. But we're not going to get those, we're not going to have the all come. We're just not. Everyone is going to be in their own town and village and doing what they need to do to celebrate. I suppose we'll use technology to Zoom into each other's living rooms, and we can still see my grandson open presents or still share some Christmas joy over the digital airwaves. It's all good. It's all good. I hope for you, if you're watching this, I know something about you. I know that you have some computer capability to be able to watch this, so that I'm hoping that you won't be alone at Christmas time. Right? Because in all of our sense of what Christmas is and what it isn't, whatever, it's about together. It's about not being alone. And yeah, some people are alone at Christmas, and it feels tragic. Maybe they're alone because they want to be. Some people are alone because they need the space away. I get that. But I'm talking about the alone against your will, or you discover that you're alone and you didn't know it was going to happen. Alone because of grief, because of someone you've lost who would have been your with you person in your isolation, and your social separation is gone. So what am I trying to say? I believe it. I really do believe it. I believe Christmas will come anyway. It came to Whoville. It did. It came. It came in ways they didn't expect. It came and uncovered things they didn't see necessarily. It came and found its way. That Christmas without Christmas melted the ironclad heart of the Grinch, and he had a conversion. This Christmas too may bring about conversions for all of us. We may begin to see what we didn't see before. We may be able to have our hearts warmed in ways we haven't had them before to what Christmas really points to. We always talk about what is the true message of Christmas, and I feel like sometimes that question becomes stylized. It just becomes cliche. But I think this backwards model of Christmas without together is going to uncover for us, if we're open, it is going to uncover some things for us, in us, that we might never have imagined. Now that's my optimism. That is my optimism. We might discover that we love people we didn't know we loved. We might discover that people that we've not liked and that we've hated aren't actually who we thought they were. I don't know. I don't know what movements of the rocks of our lives, the Gibraltars of who we are going to be shaken, but they are being shaken in this time period. They are. Or is it just me? Right? Because if you were here, then I'd be listening to you, and I could listen for that in you. But now, you're asked to listen to it from me. Truthfully, Christmas is just like every other day. It's a day like any other day. The sun comes up, goes to the high point, and then it goes down. It's just a day. It's just a day. And we are the ones that pour into the day all of what it possibly can deliver. What Christmas can bring to us in joy and connection and communication and meaning can come to us any day of every day of the year. It's always there. So that's my prayer for you. It is truly my prayer for you. That in the disappointment about not being able to do the traditions and the rituals and the things that always warm our hearts, and those feelings of the hug from the relative that you love that you haven't seen in so long, and all of that. Although that is not there, my prayer for you is that what is there will become visible and real to you. And that it will warm your heart. And that it will remind you, even if you are alone, that you're not alone. And as someone said, we're all in this together is not really quite true. We're all in this, but some of us are in bigger boats than others. Some of us have more resources than others, but we're still all in this. And more than anything, the message of Mary and Joseph's arrival in Bethlehem and the arrival of the birth of Jesus signaled a message from heaven, which is, I am with you in a new and concrete way that you might never have imagined before. And those are the words that come on the lips of the angels from the presence of God. Emmanuel, I am with you, always. God bless you, my friends. If my schedule goes the way I hope it will, I will be back here for a chat tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I do have the children's conversation. It's going to be a short conversation, a story that I'm going to tell. So if you have some children, and you want to maybe try to help them to know a little more of the Jesus side of the story of Christmas, I'm the pastor. I'm happy to tell that story and to illustrate in some ways it might be, I don't know, that might be different. That's at 4 o'clock. Then at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. I think I have a couple of times said at 9 o'clock, but it's at 8 o'clock. A service of Christmas carols, a couple sung by our choir or soloists, and a couple sung and recorded and brought in from professional recording outside, and a couple of hymns that we'll sing together, or you can listen to. We'll surround ourselves in the signs and the sounds and the wonders of Christmas with the readings of Christmas, and then we'll close and sing Silent Night. We'll do that at 9 o'clock. Nope. Let me look. I will look so I get it right. I truly have gotten it wrong so many times, I no longer remember which one is the right way. First service is at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. Then, at 11 o'clock, we will do, again, a Christmas service. So if you're having dinner and you want to watch it live, you can watch it live at 8, and you can also watch it live. You can watch it both times and see which one you like better. Thank you, my friends. I will see you tomorrow, God willing. If everything else is going okay, I'll be here at 2, and then at 4, and then at 8, and then at 11. God bless you, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. I'll see you soon.